Hello everyone, it's Katie here from the Scrappy Sisters, and I am up for day 27 of our Scrap September challenge, and this one is use your scraps. So what I'm actually doing is something that I haven't done for a really long time on our channel, and that is create some DIY embellishments. So I have quite a stash of scraps, and so off camera I cut some of these frames. I've got a die that cuts those frames, so I cut those out using some scraps, and then this container on the sort of left hand side of the screen here holds all sorts of scraps for me. So what I'm flicking through now is just the branding strips of paper that I've cut down into little banners, and then I've also got a whole range of die cuts up above me, the butterflies, and there's some love hearts and some flowers, and then in the container on the left hand side is just full of random die cuts and bits and pieces that kind of sit in my stash. So I find that making embellishments is a really good way to use up your scraps, and I just like to cut a whole random selection of die cuts when my scrap bin gets way too full. So it's quite full at the moment, which means I'm probably due for another round of die cutting. And I think what I'm going to do with some of these DIY embellishments that I've made now is to maybe make a happy mail with them or include them in a happy mail, because I think I like sharing the love and I love creating happy mail, so that's kind of my plan. I could have sped this up a little bit more. It's a relatively long video for me. It's about 14 minutes. And I don't really need to talk you through exactly what I'm doing, but on these frames I like to layer up some banners in different colors and then include some form of kind of embellishment element. So I've used a wood veneer on the one I just did that said hello, and the one prior to that I used a chipboard piece with some love hearts. And this one that I'm making now, I actually used a chipboard cupcake, and I'm sticking a couple of tiny word stickers on it. I tried to go through my stash and pull out some of my tiny words that are kind of partially used and tried to use up some more of those, but you don't use that many tiny word stickers when you're making embellishments, so I didn't probably get through too many. So I like making the frames because I find them really easy to embellish, but I do find them harder to use. The good thing about these frames though is they are almost the perfect size for Project Life, so you can slip them into your Project Life album if your embellishments don't go over the side, of course. This is a really cute treble clef in a chipboard, which I actually coloured in with Wink of Stella, which is like a sparkly pen thing, and I used the gold one, so it also added some colour, not just the sparkle. So I really like that Wink of Stella pen for that. And then this is my last frame, so just layering it up, and I know this one takes me a while to decide what to put on it, and I decide to use some wood veneer. So I pull out my little stash of wood veneer. I don't have a heap of wood veneer, but I have like a little container full, and the things that I use the most are like hearts and stars and stuff, so but this is kind of all the wood veneer I have, so I feel like that's that part of my collection is well under control and I haven't gone too overboard. So I tried a few things, as you can see, and I do settle on this like takeaway coffee cup. And then I do grab some tiny word stickers and stick those down. Those two tiny word stickers are really random. It says meet, cute, and I love right now, but they were the only two I had left on just a random kind of sheet of tiny words in my stash, and I just wanted to use them, so I stuck them on there. So I've pulled out one of these love heart die cuts that I have. I think it's a Stampin' Up die. I don't actually own this one. I borrowed it from a friend and I cut out a whole heap just using my scraps. And I was going to use I was going to put this banner that I'm just making now onto the love heart, but I don't end up doing that because it's a bit thick. So I'm just kind of trying to pull out something that I think might go on this size banner because it's a thick banner, but it's quite short. I wanted something not too big, but yeah, I still wanted it to look cute. So I'm trying lots of different things. As you can see here, I've got like a whole heap of punched out love hearts, some large ones and some smaller ones. Whole heap of smaller ephemera pieces in this little container in the left. That's sort of what I keep in there. That's kind of my DIY embellishments container, but I haven't made DIY embellishments for ages, so I kind of forgot what was in there. So in the end, I do decide to go with a wood veneer, and I'm still kind of trying, umming and ahhing, do I want a camera, do I want a person, and I in the end decide to go with this little bird. And then I pull out my Tim Holtz tiny word stickers, the small talk ones, and I just find a couple of sort of shorter tiny word stickers. And actually I was very impressed because one of the tiny word stickers I found says use your wings, which, you know, I thought was very fitting because I had the little birdie. So that's that one, and now I'm sort of on a bit of a roll, I think, with trying to make some kind of more banner like ephemera pieces. And this piece that I'm doing now, I'm just sort of, I want to use this ephemera piece that says thanks, which I've had for ages. And so I cut down a couple of the banners that I already had, but I wanted to cut them down to make one a bit shorter and layered that up so I could see the wood piece poking out from underneath, and then added the thanks and then used some tiny hearts, puffy hearts to yeah, add some little accents to that. Those puffy hearts, those of you who watch Inky Quill will know that she was talking about puffy hearts a while ago. I sent them to her in the mail and I have never been able to find them again. I got them from a really cheap $2 shop and I've never been able to find them again, and I've looked everywhere, and yeah, they are the cutest things in the world, these cutest little squishy puffy heart goodness, but I can't find them, so I'm very sad. I literally bought every pack that they had. And yeah, never been able to find them again, much to my disappointment. I know Adele's found some enamel hearts, tiny hearts, which are just as good, but they're just not puffy. So, sorry, back to the video. I'm now using this love heart die cut, and I just added some banners and some tiny words and a couple of flowers, and that was that one done. And now I'm going through my stash again of die cuts and trying to work out you know, my next one that I want to do. So I've decided to use this butterfly, and I've just stapled that using my tiny attacher and added a couple of tiny word stickers, and I will finish it off with a few of the hearts as well. Yeah, so that's that one done. Easy peasy. So you can see here, I'd kind of been making these for maybe about half an hour or so, and so I was getting a little bit kind of, I was running out of new ideas is what I'm trying to say. So I'm just sort of using lots of variations on the theme really, and yeah, making multiple things that are very similar, but that's okay. So this one is, I wanted to use this die cut of the word hello, and so I have just stapled that down on either end, and again finished it off with some of the puffy hearts. I use a lot of puffy hearts on these, I think because I went through a phase of not using them because I knew I couldn't buy any more, but then I sort of went, what's the point of that? I love them, why not just use them and enjoy them and be sad when they're gone, but you know, they're just puffy heart stickers, it's not the end of the world. So that one that I just quickly finished was a cup, like a mug die cut that I have, and I just added a couple of heart stickers and some tiny words. That one was super simple, and same with this word hello. It's literally just a banner which I then stapled the word hello to, and that one's done. So I know I'm almost sort of finished, but this bit takes a bit of time. So these are only part of my ginormous stash of branding strips which I've cut down into banners. I went through this phase of cutting all my branding strips off my paper because I kept my paper in a tub that was only 12 by 12 size, so the paper with branding strips didn't fit. So I spent a lot of time in my early days of scrapping, cutting the branding strips off my paper before I put them away. I since have a new paper storage system because I found putting it in a box was not that helpful, and I never reached for it because I couldn't see it. So I came up with another option for my paper storage. But yeah, before I did that, I cut all the branding strips off, and I didn't want to throw them away, so I cut them down into banners, and now they just live in this container here, and I really need to make more DIY embellishments with them. So you can see me here. I really wanted to use this music note paper because I have some die cuts that are treble clefs and musical instruments, and I play a musical instrument for those of you who didn't know that, and I'm just starting to learn the French horn, which is what this die cut is that I'm just stapling down now. And so I wanted to make, I wanted to make use of the fact that I've just started using the French horn or playing the French horn, and I do play a brass instrument, so picking up the French horn hasn't been that difficult. But yeah, I wanted to kind of be able to document that, and I knew I've got photos of me with the French horn, and so I thought that would come in handy. And if you also know me, you know I like tea, so I wanted to use some of these die cuts that are a teacup. But I couldn't work out how I, was going to make it work. I wanted to use this word that says you. It's a die cut that says you. And I wanted to use that, but I couldn't because of the colour of the die cut and the colour of my teacups. It just wasn't showing up, and I just couldn't make it work. And this is the last DIY ephemera piece I make, and it just wasn't working for me. So in the end, I have decided to layer up some of these banners, and I went with the thicker ones, and then I'm going to stick the teacup just to the sort of one side of the banner. So the banners are peeking out behind it, and the teacup is there, and I still think about using the word you, but it's just not going to work. So I use some Love Heart wood veneers, and I grab some of these gold shiny tiny word stickers that say happy day and joy, and yeah, stick those down with the wood veneer. I decided to go with the rule of three, the 3 wood veneer on this ephemera piece, which is pretty cool, and I like the way it looks. And so yeah, just sticking that down. I'd bloody drop this on my DIY ephemera. Luckily it's Tombow glue, so it dries clear and you can't even tell, but still, that's not the point. So that is it. I'm just putting everything away, and then I'm going to show you some close-ups. So I'm just getting rid of all of these bits and pieces, and then I'm going to show you the close-ups. So I've slowed the video back down so you don't have to speed through the close-ups, but this is it. This is the DIY ephemera. If you fancy some happy mail from us, send us an email, because maybe we'll be able to send you out a little bit of happy mail if you're lucky. But yeah, send us an email. It's just scrappysistersoz@gmail.com, but we'll leave the link down below. And yeah, feel free to get in touch because we love exchanging happy mail, and yeah, maybe we'll film it, and yeah, you might be able to see the happy mail, being made, and the tutorial on our YouTube channel. But anyway, these are our ephemera pieces. I hope you're liking our September series so far. We are nearly at the end, only a couple of days to go. My sister and I have really enjoyed making all these videos. It has been hard work. I think anyone who has a YouTube channel will know how hard it is to create content, but then having to create content for every second day, because obviously my sister and I share, so we only have to make a video every second day. It's still a lot. So thank you for your support, thank you for your likes and your comments, and for subscribing. We really value each and every one of you, and yeah, thank you so much for watching us. We hope you've liked this video, and we will see you in tomorrow's. So enjoy the rest of your day, and yeah, we'll see you tomorrow. Bye guys.